What's up, Knife Tube? It's Diamond Cut Steel, and you guys are going to learn something today. So, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's well. Hope life is treating you good. Y'all see everything's in frame. Okay. We got old Lucky Ducky and Cycloptopus hanging out with us tonight. We have the Cheefarcuut 400 centered or vitrified diamond stone. We're going to use it to sharpen some good old S110V on a pair of 3. It's in need of a new edge. This one has done a shit ton of work. Actually, still decent. Surprising for as much cutting as that knife has done over the past couple months to still be decent. That's impressive. That is quite impressive. This knife is cut a lot. And I do mean a lot. So, let's get to work. Get some agua on this bad boy. It's a very, very steel hungry stone right here. And I very, very, very much like it. And it is an absolute incredible deal at $99. That it is. So let's go ahead and knock this edge off. Let's cut that apex off. Get rid of that steel because it is definitely fatigued. It has seen a lot of cutting. And we get a perfectly flat apex. Yeah, got a nice flat edge. That fatigued steel that is right there at the apex is gone now. And we can get to removing some steel. Typically, I would just do this knife on a Atoma, finish it on an Atoma 400, set the edge, finish the edge on an Atoma 400. But this stone deserves to be seen. People need to see this. They're going to be releasing more of them here soon. And this stone, if you're a sharpener, you need this stone. Buy it out. Nothing else on the market gives you what this stone gives at $100. It's incredible. So this edge is right at probably right at 17, so maybe 17, 18. So we're just going to finish it back at that angle. Okay. See how quick we raise the burr. Now I am going to remove a little more steel than necessary, just for the simple fact of this steel has been heavily worked. Definitely already have a burr. Oh yeah, for sure. A rather healthy burr, actually. But I'm going to go ahead and remove a little bit more. And we're just going to finish this on this 400 too. Being S110V is definitely a steel that you do not want to... oh yeah, really healthy burr. S110V is a steel that you do not want to polish. You want to leave it fairly aggressive, let that steel do so it'll perform for you. Very nice scratch pattern. And as you can see, you know, this is a highly wear resistant steel. Highly wear resistant steel. And this stone just chews it up. So now let's go ahead and flip that burr. But what I'm going to do, I'm not going to flip the burr like I normally do. I'm actually going to just cut this burr off and raise another burr. That way I know I've removed a decent bit of steel. I'm using very light pressure. If you really want this stone to cut, just increase your pressure a little bit and it'll really rip off steel. But you don't need to. Even with a very wear resistant steel like this, 100% already have a burr. Big time. But I am going to remove a little bit more. Okay, we should be in business. There's your scratch pattern. You guys can see. Actually, let's get the microscope out. The little handheld one. Whoops. Ooh, look at that pretty scratch pattern. See a nice burr. A little bit of chipping from use. I actually might have to work it a little more and remove that. Beautifully consistent scratch pattern. That is such a nice scratch pattern. They really hit a home run with this stone right here. Actually, I didn't know that little chip was in there, so I am going to remove a little bit more. Definitely can't see that chip with the naked eye. So I can feel it. Yeah. It's there, and we can see it, but now I'm going to go ahead and knock that burr back. I'm going to work it a little more to remove that little chip. Like I said, this is a very steel hungry stone. It really cuts. Okay. That should be good. Now let's go ahead and start fatiguing that burr. A lot of people talk about how hard S110V is to deburr. I personally disagree. It can be a pain in the ass. sometimes, but if you just fatigue the burr, even on this relatively coarse stone, the burr will come right off without much problem. I'm going to make some very light edge leading passes. The more I use this stone, the more impressed I am with it. Like, it's an impressive stone. It really is. For $100, it's almost too good to be true. Looky there, we have basically clean apex. And what do you know? No burr. No burr. I mean, I'm not saying it's 100% deburred, but the horror stories you hear of this steel being very hard to deburr is just not true. What it is, in my opinion, it's not so much that the steel is super hard to deburr like people make it out to be. It's just that they're using the wrong method to deburr it. Now I'm going to take a dry strop. By that I mean a strop with no compound on it. I'm going to go at sharpening angle or slightly above. Make a couple passes. No need to use any compound. I want this edge as aggressive as I can get it. Being there's no compound on there, I'm not being super critical with angle. I just want it close. Basically, the purpose of that is to get any little pieces of remaining burr off of it. You should have an excellent edge. Very toothy. Oh yeah. Now that is the kind of edge you want on S110V. That is a beautiful S110V edge. Very, very, very aggressive. You're going to have good keenness, but the edge is predominantly focused on bite. Yeah, that's exactly what you want on this type of steel. It's not as mega keen edge, but it's got tons of bite. That's what you want. Now, say if you want to bring the keenness up slightly, that's not a problem. Just hop over to like some 3 micron, like a 3 micron strop. Make you a pass or two at sharpening angle. That's going to bring your keenness up quite a bit. without knocking your bite off too much. But very important, do not overstrop this steel. This is a steel that you can overstrop incredibly easy and quickly. Yeah, see that? Whoops, sorry. That definitely brought up the keenness, but it still got gobs of bite, which is exactly what you want. Yes, this is a perfect, literally a perfect edge for S110V. A lot of people complain about this steel. They say it don't perform that good. And then you look and they have a mirror on it. This is not a steel that you can run at a high polish. It will not perform. This steel hates being polished. It needs a nice, aggressive edge finish. Let's look at it under the microscope one more time real quick. Focus. That is a beautiful S110V edge. You can see some nice texture at the apex, telling you that the edge is going to have good bite. Perfectly deburred. Beautiful tip. Literally about as good of an edge as you can get for this steel. This will perform. If you're somebody who has S110V and it's never performed well for you and you finish it at 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, that's why. Finish it between 300 and 600 grit and it's going to perform fantastic. It really will. This is a hell of a good performing steel. So there you go. S110V and the badass Cheefarcuut 400. Match made in heaven. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. If you got some S110V, finish it around 400 grit and thank me later. Y'all have a good night.